I don't know. I think guys are even afraid to look your way. So the question is this a problem? And if so, what do you do about it? Obviously, this is a problem because men are now terrified. Even in the workplace, by the way, they're terrified to have interactions with women because there's so much talk of sexual harassment has been, blown up to the point where you're guilty upon accusation of everything. So they're like, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't want to be like, no, every door needs to have like a window that you can see through. And I'm good. I've spoken to guys that actually have deep concerns about like just regular interactions. Like I'm afraid I'm going to say something or like, and these are not guys that are prone to inappropriate behavior, but they're just afraid that that window of inappropriate has expanded so much that if they even say something nice, it's like, oh my God, did I overstep my boundary? They're like walking on eggshells 24/7.
In this day and age, a lot of men are afraid to do the cold approach out of fear of being labeled a creep or predator. Outside of that, many of us are very insecure. One of the reasons is that a lot of men are being made to feel they have little to no value in society, which over the long term contributes to feelings of worthlessness. People who feel this way don't usually feel comfortable talking to women they are attracted to, because even if they are wrong in their assumptions, their mind often predicts the likelihood of failure before they ever even try, and that alone stops them. Not only that, there's often just a low probability of success. You might not get rejected exactly, but you have to be able to charm her more than all the other guys have been. Let's face it, people aren't nearly as social as they used to be. And if you can't get a good conversation going, it's wasted effort. It feels similar to being out on a stage and asked to perform. In many cases, as you are expected to catch her interest, amuse, and entertain without getting much back. Dance for me, monkey. If I've gone through all the standard questions to try and get a conversation going and she gives nothing to play off, it's discouraging. You can be well-mannered, respectful, and socially skilled, and still a lot of your approaches will result in the woman being uncomfortable. It's true if a guy does this enough times, odds are eventually someone will be receptive, but most men get exhausted trying to land that 1 in 100 conversation where the woman is thinking, wow, he's cute and cool too, and not looking for a reason to end the exchange and go on about her day. Most people will avoid situations where they feel like an unwelcome intruder in someone's space. Men do 99.9% of the work in dating, and women just have to show up. It's no wonder the majority have given up on dating. You have to approach 1,000s of girls and get rejected by 1,000s more of them. Then you have to be able to text her, plan a whole date, actually get her out on said date, pray she doesn't flake, then have the social skills to make it a good one. Pay for both of you because you're the man, and then get told she doesn't feel the spark and get ghosted. Rinse and repeat for months until you finally get laid once. Is all that effort worth it? Saw a post a while ago of a guy who approached a girl and got her number. Then he texts her, and it turns out it was an AI chat messaging thing. That stuff is just disrespectful for no reason. The guy took the courage to approach a stranger to strike up a conversation and try to get their number, and instead of just politely declining, she prepared a fake number for a chatbot specifically to give to people who approach them. Then people wonder why men don't approach women in public anymore. But then, what's the alternative? Dating apps either work for you or don't. For 95% of men, they don't work at all. So your only choice is to cold approach women. Trust me, I wish there was another option. Hobbies and other meetup activities are 90% sausage fests, and most guys are there to try to hit and simp on girls. I would say that it's not simply in direct fear of these specific labels or responses. Society has long been pushing the narrative that you do not talk to strangers in public places. If you go alone to a bar or a club or the movies, it's not a place to make friends, and going alone is weird or pathetic. While that alone would tend to make cold approaches less likely, there have been, for very good reason, pushes for greater emphasis on consent and against harassment. However, this has also led to very loud voices of, don't ever flirt at the workspace. That's against the policy. Never approach a woman at the gym, she's there to work out. Don't bother a group of girls at the bar, they're there for a good time, not to be harassed by men. Cold approaching someone has never been easy, especially for people who aren't as social or extroverted. Now that there's a greater social stigma, people tend to be much more cautious, and may doubt the attention would be wanted in any form in the first place. If we look back a couple of decades, women were very good at handling conversation and were open to it. Today, guys have it way harder than before because women are overly selective, choosy, and picky. They only want the top 10% of men and the Chads and Tyrones. The other men? When they approach women, they're considered creeps because they're not the cream. Men are told by a portion of society that they are predators and not welcome for social interaction in public. Community is becoming more of a thing of the past as social media dominates interactions. This phenomenon is only increasing. Still, there's something about making a move that feels taboo. It's like, as a guy, you're taking a huge risk. Not just getting told no, but as a guy, you're supposed to be the one testing the boundaries. It's a cruel double standard, and it's an uphill for just about any young guy I know. Truth be told, it seems like the only ways to handle it are to not give a crap about what anyone thinks, even at the risk of facing consequences, or to avoid the situation completely. The guys who get girls are almost always doing, I feel. But my sense is the guys doing are the ones weighing their pros and cons, who are more like to come out on top in the long run. The real question in my mind is, do women realize what is going on with this dating game? I think they probably feel some sense of it in their own rights, but keep in mind they are generally considered to be the ones with a plethora of options, as it were. So they grab onto the first guy that gets their attention, and when he doesn't work out, they can easily replace him with the next shiny, attentive trophy boyfriend. Are the guys worrying about facing social and legal consequences? Yeah, we're more likely to stay quiet, I think. At a point, it's not about the fear of rejection itself. It's the leverage these women have in the rest of the world that makes it dangerous, almost literally, for a guy to put himself out there. It's not enough to be told no now. Now, guys have to be out in their place for even having the gall to ask a woman out. Most men can work up enough courage to approach a woman at least some of the time, but we still feel a certain amount of fear mixed into that courage. Like with anything risky. Easily half of all women are cruel to some extent when they reject a guy, because it's an ego boost to be wanted, and ego makes people arrogant. Even nice women can be unintentionally mean when they let guys down, and honestly, they aren't obligated to let you down easily. Decent men worry about making women feel uncomfortable and coming off as a creep. The men who don't care what women want are the ones getting success, because they're the ones aggressively pursuing women. And women almost never make the first moves, so they only end up with the men who pursue them. Many loud women with social media influence have broadcasted that women don't want to be approached by men they don't know. These women shame men who approach and accuse them of predatory behavior. So, respectful men tend to leave women alone. Women are left with the shameless men who don't care. There are several videos online of men who tried to start a conversation with women only to be shamed, insulted, and brutally rejected. These men didn't do anything creepy or inappropriate, just tried to introduce themselves and start a conversation. These videos have comment sections full of women bashing the men. No man wants to be an involuntary social media target. Cold approaching women might have worked in the past when people didn't have sticks up their souls. Today they do. Life is not the same. Dating is not the same. Relationships are never going to be the same again. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.